Hi, good morning, Ananda. Welcome to today 10th biology online video class. Today we are going to discuss about the second chapter, respiration, the energy producing system. The energy producing system. Before going to start a discussion about respiration, I would like to give a mind mapping or a flow chart about this chapter. So when we have to make a index or a mind mapping or a flow chart, it gives a outline glance. Just to look at a glance, the total subtopics are there in our finger. Of course, beginning of the chapter it may be somewhat difficult, but after completion of the chapter, entire this 17 subtopics, it should be in your fingertips. It is clear, students? Now, we are going to start the respiration. Subtopics. What are the learning objectives or the learning outcomes of this chapter? Means, see here, discovery of gases and respiration. Discovery of gases and respiration. Second one is events or steps in respiration. How many events or how many steps are there in a respiration? What is mean by breathing? What is mean by breathing? Actually, there is a slight difference between breathing and respiration. So, what do you mean by breathing? Next, pathway of air. Pathway of air. Epiglottis. Epiglottis and passage of air. Epiglottis and passage of air. Mechanism of respiration in human beings. Mechanism of respiration. Already we have completed first chapter, mechanism of photosynthesis. Here we are going to learn about mechanism of respiration. Next, gaseous exchange. Gases exchange, alveolar capillaries. Alveoli, these are the units of lungs. So the lungs are made up of alveoli, the smaller units. So like this, alveolar capillaries, how the gases is exchanges takes place. Next, transportation of gases. Transportation of gases. Next, cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. The respiration which occurs in the cell level is called as cellular respiration. Next, anaerobic respiration. The types of respiration apart from the anaerobic respiration. What do you mean by fermentation? What do you mean by fermentation? Next, respiration versus combustion. What do you mean by respiration and what do you mean by combustion? What is the comparison and the difference between respiration and combustion? Next, heat producing by living organisms. Heat producing by living organisms. Next, evolution in gases exchange system in the living organisms from single cell to multicellular organisms. Evolution means a gradual changes which takes place to continuously. Evolution in gases exchange system in the living organism from simple to complex organisms. Respiration in plants. So till now up to 14 subtopics involves in the animal physiology, means animal respiration system. Only the few topics, very small part is related to plant physiology, especially plant respiration part. So respiration in plants, aeration of roots or breathing roots. Next, photosynthesis versus respiration. It's a very important concept. It is the conclusion of both the first and second chapter. First chapter photosynthesis, second chapter respiration. So both photosynthesis versus respiration. We have to discuss total is 17 subtopics. Then we have a clear picture about respiration. Why it is called as a energy producing system. Why can't we get the energy from the food? What is the relation to that? These gases and the food. The gases and the food. Now we are going to start the second chapter, respiration. Before going to start, first I would like to give a brief account on what is meant by life processes. Life processes in the sense, the process are the basic functions which is carried out in the living organisms. The process which involves in the living organisms to make us sustain. Those processes obviously we called life processes. It may include from the nutrition or digestion, respiration, transportation, excretion and reproduction. So these processes are called as a life process, which occurs in the living organisms are metabolic activities. What is meant by meta? Meta in the sense metazoans, multicellular organisms. Metabolic activities are also called as life processes. These are mainly two kinds. The first one is anabolic activities or anabolism. Second one is catabolic activities or catabolism. What do you mean by anabolism? Anabolism means a synthesized process, making process, construction process. Here catabolism means destruction process, dividing process. So first anabolic activities or anabolism, best example is photosynthesis. Catabolism, best example is respiration. So anabolism is photosynthesis, best example. Catabolism, respiration is the best example. How anabolism is explained, how catabolism is explained, let us take example. See, coming to the first chapter nutrition, second chapter respiration. So what is the relation between nutrition and respiration or photosynthesis versus respiration? We can see in a clearly. See, here nutrition in the sense the food, supplying system or the food. Here respiration in the sense the keywords are gases, here the keywords are food. So in presence of sunlight, the chlorophyll molecule which can synthesize the complex materials like glucose. I mean that carbon dioxide and water means carbon, oxygen and hydrogen, they combinedly form to that glucose. This is a construction process. Photosynthesis in the sense carbon dioxide, water, these simple inorganic substances combinedly in presence of sunlight they have to make into a complex materials like a carbohydrate or a starch or a glucose. So this is a construction process. When coming to that respiration means a destruction process. For example, see, these glucose, whenever we are adding the oxygen, when the oxygen is added to glucose, so oxidation of glucose is called as respiration. So what will happen when oxygen is added to glucose, the glucose is breaking down, glycolysis takes place. Glucose is break down and release the energy in the form of heat as a byproduct of carbon dioxide and water. Is it clear, students? Respiration, why it is called as a catabolic or dividing process or destruction process means respiration means oxygen gas. So the oxygen gas or in presence of oxygen, the food materials are breaking down and the glucose material is dividing into carbon dioxide and water as a byproducts, and they release the energy in the form of ATP, energy currency. So it is a dividing process. Respiration is a dividing process. See, surprisingly, there is some chemistry between the nutrition and respiration. I mean that photosynthesis and respiration. The end products of photosynthesis. What are the end products of photosynthesis? Glucose, oxygen. So glucose, oxygen are the end products of photosynthesis. But the beginning products of respiration. What is the beginning products of respiration? Glucose and oxygen is the beginning products of respiration. What are the end products of respiration? Carbon dioxide and water. What are the beginning products of photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide and water. So there is a close relation to the nutrition and respiration. So students, till now we discuss about nutrition means the food supplying system, only intake of nutrients, and they have to convert it to simple form of only glucose. So here respiration means whenever we are adding the oxygen to glucose. So I would like to conclude what is mean by respiration. Why the respiration is called as a energy producing system, or why this respiration is a catabolic activity or catabolic process. It is clear now. So respiration in the sense oxidation of glucose or oxidation of food materials and release the energy in the form of heat as a byproduct of carbon dioxide and water vapor. So this is called as respiration. Respiration in the sense oxidation of food materials and release the energy in the form of heat that should be stored in the form of ATP as a byproduct of carbon dioxide and water vapor. See students, coming to the topic, I would like to give the introduction part of this respiration. I would like to give an introduction part of the respiration means what is the relation to the food and gases to cell. So obviously the gases should reach us to cell through the transport system. That is the third chapter, we can learn in a detailed manner. How the food is supplied to cell through the transport system. So finally the gases and the food reaches to a cell. Here the oxygen which acts on the glucose and they have to release the energy, they have to derive the energy. So this process is called as cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. See, coming to that, actually when we are going to discuss about that respiration introduction part, I would like to show the topic respiration, second chapter. Respiration means the energy producing system. The energy producing system. Here they are clearly given the QR codes. Please download the Diksha app from the Play Store. Afterwards you have to watch these videos and you have to enjoy the videos and you have to enhance the knowledge. After coming to the textbook, while you are reading the textbook, you have to inculcate the knowledge from the textbook. It is very important parallel to watching my videos. So before going to start the chapter, you have to take the textbook in front of you. So watching the videos parallelly, you have to read the sentence by sentence. Then you have to get the knowledge in a easy manner. So what they are given here, he is a Lavoisier. Already we learned that Lavoisier and Priestley in the candle experiment or bell jar experiment or Priestley's experiment. So he is the person of Lavoisier who has given the name of oxygen, who coined the term oxygen in 1775. Already we learned in that first chapter. So he is the Priestley who discovered the oxygen in 1774. So now we are going to start the discussion on that respiration, the energy producing system. So coming to the what they are given to here, using food to carry out life processes. Using food to carry out life processes is a key factor. All the living organisms of the life processes, either unicellular or multicellular. So I would like to repeat, using food to carry out life processes is a key for all the life process among all the living organisms like unicellular to multicellular organisms. Let us coming to the unicellular organisms like amoeba. So amoeba is a single cell organism. They can perform all the metabolic activities or all the life process within the cell. Coming to the multicellular organisms, we are having a different organs and organ systems to perform different functions. Next they are given to that in this chapter nutrition, already we learned that how the nutrients are drawn to our body, but the thing is here, the food materials only break down when we are supplying the oxygen to the cell. That means when the oxygen is supplied to the cell, then only the food materials are oxidized or break down, then the energy is liberated. I mean that respiration process is very essential to obtain the energy from the food material. So that is why the final utilization of food by the breaking down of food material in presence of oxygen. So now we are going to discuss about actually the respiration. The term respiration derived from a Latin word respire. Respire in the sense to breathe. Here breathing in the sense not simply exchange of gases like intake of oxygen and releasing of carbon dioxide. That it can be explained. The term respire explain about the whole chain process. I mean that involving of or intake of or inhalation of gases and final utilization of oxygen to the cell. The whole chain process should be explained in the term of respire means to breathe. Next, now let us we have to start a discussion on the relation of gases and the process of respiration. Respiration is nothing but a exchange of gases. So how the gases and the respiration, relation of gases and the process of respiration. This we can start from this first subtopic, discovery of gases and respiration. Discovery of gases and respiration. Here, discovery of gases means already we have a brief account in our mind. Yes, oxygen gas was discovered by Lavoisier, Priestley, and the name was given by Lavoisier in a nutrition chapter in a Bell jar experiment. And discovery of gases and respiration, apart from this, I would like to start the discussion. Actually, before came to use of respiration, we are using the word breathing. After a century, we are using the breathing, we use the word respiration in the 14th century. I mean that before going to use the respiration word, first we are using the word breathing. After a century, when we use the word breathing, then it comes to that a popularized respiration. Actually, at that time, the people much know about that air is the mixture of several gases. Air is nothing but a mixture of several gases. See, actually the respiration is related to medical terminology. Medical term, only the hospital doctors or nurses, they are using the medical terminology respiration. Respiration in the sense, in those days, the respiration in the sense involving passage of air and production of body heat. Involving passage of air and production of body heat. Actually, at the time, the people much know about, not more than that, yes, the bodily organisms having some life process, and they have to produce the heat. They know much about apart from this. Next, actually, it was not until the 18th century, I mean that 1700, the people not know about that gases. So, until the 18th century, the people does not having a brief account on that the composition of air or the gases properties. So, according to the Lavoisier and Priestley, they done a comprehensive work on the property of gases and the discovery of the gases. Actually, Priestley conducted a Bell jar experiment and he discovered the oxygen. But here, Lavoisier, apart from that Priestley, Lavoisier also conducted a series of experiments in order to discover the gases, mainly oxygen. He coined the term oxygen. On what basis he gave the oxygen gas name is, first he take a Bell jar, closed Bell jar, he has to put a water bath system and he put a charcoal powder. When he is heating the charcoal powder in a closed space of a Bell jar, it should be turned into black. So the air he called that is called as a fixed air or carbon dioxide. So in those days, the carbon dioxide is called as a chalky acid gas or fixed air. Means always the carbon dioxide is remain constant in the air, 0.003%. So that's why in those days they call it as a chalky acid gas. Next, the Lavoisier conducted a series of experiments on that phosphorus in a closed Bell jar of water bath system. When he is heating the phosphorus powder, then it happens to that it should be in a elastic nature. When he is using that phosphorus on the closed Bell jar, he would like to conclude that one of the gas which is in the air itself, it should be act on the elastic fluid in the nature. So this gas is very much essential to burning the things. So that gas he called that respirable air. Later it is called as a violated air, means consumed. When we are consumed, it should be degrading, it should be completely over. So I would like to finalize this comprehension para. Chalky acid gas or fixed air or charcoal powder is called as carbon dioxide is a fixed air. Violated air or a respirable air or a elastic fluid gas in the air is called as an oxygen gas. So oxygen is the gas which supports the life, is called as a life gas. The same gas utilized for the burning the things. Is clear, students? The gas which is present in the atmosphere or air should be useful to the burning the things as well as respirable the air. So, in presence of oxygen only, we are getting the final utilization of food materials. So, that's why we are getting not energy from the nutrition, we are getting the energy from the respiration. So, this is the relationship between the food and the gases. So, next class we are going to continue about the discovery of gases and the respiration. Thank you, children.